And welcome back. Per the last video, we got our cam installed, our lifters, and our thrush plate. And then the next video we talked about doing the rest of the timing components. So some of those components you see on the table here in front of you. We've got our modified phaser. This is the original phaser that came off the truck, just with the ComCabs limiter in there that we did in a previous video. We've got our lower timing sprocket for the crank gear. We've got a newer phaser to camshaft bolt, and we got as well as a newer guide and a newer tensioner. So let me show you some of those part numbers. So that's the part number for the tensioner. This is the part number here for the guide. The chain is, let me get you the box for that. That's right, that'll be on the bottom. So that should be the part number for our chain. And this is the part number for our sprocket. So I just want to show you what I'm doing here with a silver Sharpie, and recently discovered these about a year ago, and I think they came out new. But if you haven't ever played with these before, these are very nice. They're excellent for marking surfaces on dark backgrounds where like a red or a green Sharpie or black Sharpie wouldn't work. But on our lower crank gear, you see that little timing dot on it. So all I did was kind of come in and just kind of put the point of the Sharpie in there just to kind of color it in a little bit, and then color that entire tooth silver just to make it a bit easier to see that mark. Now on the phaser, I gotta find it again, but there is a mark on the back of this phaser. I had it. Oh, hold on, I've got to get a light because this one's a little bit difficult to see, because there it is right there. You kind of have to look down past the inside of the metal guard, or this metal out guard that sits on here, and it'll just going to be a little bit hard for you to see that, but you'll see that little indentation right there pointing at that single tooth. I'm going to do the same thing to this. Let me get the light out of your eye so it doesn't continue to blind you. I'm just going to take a silver Sharpie and take that pin. That's what I'm saying. It's so easy to lose this one because it's kind of hidden right there. I'm just going to Sharpie that in there. And then once I get this done, you should be able to see that little divot in there a bit better. So that's our timing mark. So what they want you to do on this is, per the instructions, they're on your chain. Now this is the let me get the new chain out. This is the original factory chain, but the concept still applies. Is on this, you'll see two not plated links in this case. This sometimes they're plated with multicolor links depending on what size engine you're dealing with, but on this engine it's just two links with just kind of those two rust or orange colored rectangular markings on it. On those two links, and you got a single marking of a link here. So on this one, what happens is the bottom timing gear, in other words, this crank gear, is going to be lined up on this chain, in which, like that mark is directly right in line with that dot. And on your top sprocket, our little tooth that we've colored silver over here, those two marks are going to be put on either side So you've got your timing mark there in the center, and you've got your indicator links on either side of that timing mark. So you end up with something that looks like this. Let me make some room here. I'm just going to shuffle this stuff around so I can make a bit more surface here. This is our lower gear. And what we end up with is we've got our timing mark here in line with this mark, and we've got our timing mark here on the top of the phaser in line with our 2. And that sets your timing on your engine. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the lower crank gear and just adjust it until this is in the 6 o'clock position, and I'll cut that video into here after this one. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take this cam sprocket, get it aligned with the cam pin, and just kind of rotate it until this silver mark is facing straight up, and that'll give me my timing of where the cam needs to be positioned in relation to the crank. And I'm going to go ahead and take care of that, and I'll bring you back. So you saw us earlier adjust that lower crank so that dot was at the 6 o'clock position. And when I put that phaser on there loosely and just kind of held it in place, had it engaged in with the pin, and rotated the crank to where it needed to be to get that timing mark in the phaser up at 12 o'clock, you can see where the cam pin ended up. So your cam pin is pretty much straight up at 12 o'clock with the peak of your motor. So just to kind of give you a little bit of an indication there. What I'm going to do next is, it looks like per the instructions, we can just kind of slide this about halfway off, be able to get our chain situated on our lower one, hold it away from where the crank's at, and then get our upper sprocket on, and then just have your bolt handy. And then when you slide it all together as one unit, just put your bolt in quickly by a couple of turns just to kind of hold it there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut the camera at this point. I'm going to get you positioned. Hopefully I'm going to get the tripod latched onto probably over here on the side. Yeah, get you lined up that way so you can see if we can get some live action of this. But let me get you situated and I'll bring you back. Okay, welcome to attempt number 512. Although you've only seen one, and that's when we tried to do this from the top of the motor. Well, we discovered after a little bit of trial and error, it's easier just to reach everything from the bottom versus reaching in from the top. And there's a little bit of differences in this between a lot of the 5.7 timing videos I've seen, in which there's some comments made, at least on other Hemi engines, that there's not enough slack in the timing set, that you have to assemble the top gear, the bottom gear, and the chain. And the one big assembly, as you're going to see coming into the shot here, that because there's not enough slack in the chain to be able to put one on and then put the other one on. Well, I can tell you from dealing with this motor, there is. I can put this top phaser on, have enough slack in the chain, and then put the bottom gear on in itself. And by that, I'll show you what I mean. Well, not necessarily on, but the point is, when you get this all together as one unit and slide it in place, there's enough slack in the chain until you get the guide and the tensioner in there that the chain can come off the bottom sprocket. But with that being said, per the manual, what they want you to do is, previously we marked the phaser. We put silver Sharpie on it so we can get the top phaser to be between the two timing marks on the chain, and we mark the bottom timing mark on the crank pulley to be aligned with the one timing mark in the chain. So I've got this down here, and I'll pull it back in the camera view, but I've got it assembled as one assembly at this point. So the chain, the top phaser, and the bottom crank pulley are together in time. And what I did earlier was test fit this and it kind of ends up with the cam pin being right about 12 o'clock straight up. And I put the crank bolt back in and turned the crank a little bit until this keyway here would line up with the bottom crank gear. So I've got it in time per the book, top and bottom gears. I'm going to slide the bottom crank gear on and just allow it to hit its keyway, which is right there. And then I'm going to take the phaser, there we go, and now the phaser is in and the bottom one is in. Now when I let go of this chain, it's going to droop off of that gear. Okay, got it. And then now I'm going to take my bolt, my phaser bolt, and keep your hand on this, otherwise if you're doing this the way I'm doing this, this phaser will fall off of this cam. Could end up hitting you in the face, especially if you're sitting below it like I am. And I know there's a bunch of videos out there talking about making sure that the, you know, that the top marking on the top phaser faces up and the bottom one faces at 6 o'clock, and you know that's roughly where it's going to sit. So what I'm finding out is, at least on this 6.4, it's pretty close to that. And I think I got, and again, we're just going hand tight with these bolts right now until we can verify this, but you can't see this, but the bottom chain will come off of that pulley because there's enough slack in it. So I'm just going to take it, push it back up into place, because you can see there's no sidebar in here, there's no tensioner. So I just manually kind of lifted that chain back in place, made sure that the timing link of the chain is still on the timing dot on the bottom gear. Now I'm just going to put the side guide in, and that'll eat up some of that slack and keep that chain from wanting to pop off that bottom gear. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's on. That's on. We're still on our timing mark below on top. We know that our phaser is still in the right position in the chain because that didn't move. Just going to push away this slack a little bit. Now I'm just going to get the tensioner bolted in. We're not going to put tension on this chain yet. We're going to test spin the engine a couple of times over and verify our timing marks still line up. And as you saw earlier, yes, this is a new tensioner, a new guide, a new chain, and a new lower gear. If you're going to be in here and you're going to have this engine tore apart to this level, you might as well take the opportunity to put new parts in it. You know, obviously, depending on your situation, your age of the engine, if you got a relatively engine with relatively little bit of use on it, and to you the components look good, you may want to keep what you got. But if you've got a high mileage engine, you might want to change them out. Okay, again, I'm just going hand tight on this. I'm just snugging them. We'll come back later and torque them. I just want them snug so that we can get on here, spin this engine over a couple of times, and see if our marks still line up. So bottom one, we've got the position. We're about 6 o'clock position, or roughly 6 o'clock, but more importantly, our dot is still in our link here. Our phaser is still between our 2 points up at the top where it needs to be. And when you think about it this way, remember this is keyed to the crank. So in order for this spot in the chain to be where it needs to be, if this chain were to move and you are within your timing marks up here, if I move this crank or take this chain and pull it left or right, then it wouldn't match up down here anymore unless I then rotated the crank and got this entire gear to match up. So at this point in time, this lower gear with its timing mark is matched up with the timing chain. This upper phaser is pinned to the crank, so it's in the right position, and it's between the two timing marks. So the timing mark on the phaser is between the two timing marks in the chain. So at this point in time, everything to include the crank and the cam should be in time with each other. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to install a crank bolt in here. We're going to spin the engine over a few times. We're going to verify everything looks good, and if it does, we'll get it all torqued down. But I'll bring you back for that one. Yeah, you can go ahead. So I just want to bring you back and show you again. This is our phaser. So just want to show you those timing marks, so you can see that what we highlighted with the silver Sharpie is between our marks there. And I can crawl on the bottom. Just wanted to show you this because you can't obviously see those timing marks until you get right up on it. And although you got a pretty good view of the install, there we go. And you can see our silver dot is on our link with our timing guide. So just to confirm with you that at this point in time, we have our bottom crank alignment dot onto our timing chain along with our two. So everything is in lockstep at this point. It looks good. We're going to torque down our guide and our tensioner. I'm going to drizzle a little bit of oil on these internals just so they don't sit out here dry. But once we get the windage tray and the oil pan and everything reinstalled, then I'll go ahead and liberally coat everything again with some additional oil, just so it doesn't start dry. And then we'll pull the pin on our timing tensioner and get that taken care of. But for now, again, like I said, per the book, the tensioner and the guide get all 4 bolts get torqued to 8 foot-pounds. We'll go ahead and get those torqued, and for now, we're going to call this a video. Again, as you can see, we've got our modified phaser, our new timing chain, our new bottom timing crank gear, and our new tensioner and our new chain guide all in place at this point. And I thank you for following along thus far, and there will be more to come as we continue our reassembly process. I'll chat with you later. Bye.